Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another fantastic episode of Board Game Talk. I'm John Caspian.
And I'm Joe Collins.
So today, we're going to be talking about sports games. Oh,
Oh
yes.
yes,
So, it's officially Fantasy Football Month.
yes, but we have tons of oh yeah, we have many games that are sports related or have that kind of competition sports feel to it. So and a couple of new games as well.
Oh, yes. So, our particular thing with Fantasy Football, of course, is Fantasy Football, which is Blood Bowl. So we can talk a little bit about that, although technically I'm not sure it counts as a board game. At the same time, it does count as a board game,
It's a board miniature
but not in
game.
the traditional sense, right?
Not just there is a board involved, and there's also miniatures. So it's one of those hybrids.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So as he mentioned, the first one is Blood Bowl, which is a classic game workshop. It's been around for about, I believe, 33 years, and it is quite literally fantasy football, unlike the other type of football, which is just fantasy in the sense of on your phone. You have statistics and you draft real players and you watch games and see how the individual players do. This is actually a board slash miniatures game. And the thing about that makes this game interesting, and one of my personal favorite aspects of this game, it's not only is it football and fantasy, but unlike Warhammer 40k or Age of Sigmar, it's a grid space movement system where each player is given like specific movement points. One may give 8 movement points. They call it speed, or one may have 6, and you move based on the grid. So it's really easy for me to keep up, and you don't have to worry about using a ruler to keep measurements. And what's also cool about this is they have done so much to expand the game. And for those who may have a friend actually who has the base game, but if you're interested in like buying just the faction, but want things like the ruler that you use to measure how far you pass the ball, Game Workshop also has just come out with this pack right here, which is a hands coach rules and accessory pack that comes with tokens and a rule book right here, a small little rule book, quick reference sheet, and came with a team sheet so you can keep track of your team, and it comes with that ruler right there, so you don't have to so you can just buy the base game and just a different team, because the base game comes with human players or human teams and an orc team, but we have multiple other teams through here at Gigabyte, so they have multiple teams, which we're going to highlight throughout the month because it is actually fantasy football month. So, and they have things like custom dice and star players. So this game has been around for a very long time. Uh, Team packs, and it's really fun. I had a chance to play it myself, and it is. I mean, it's, like I said, it's really fun, and they have their own pitches for each of the teams. So each team can have their own home field pitch. So it's really fun. It's really exciting. So I suggest that and we still have a base. We still actually have a demo copy here. People are actually
Yeah,
coming to play it. So I definitely recommend looking it up.
for sure, for sure. So then, otherwise, we still have tons of games that we have that are not necessarily exactly fantasy football. So we're kind of, for board game talk, going to be talking about overall themes of sports
Yes.
and or kind of team versus team. So there's that submarine game we'll talk about in a later week.
Yes.
That's like the four people in one submarine versus 4 people in the other one.
Captain Sonar.
That's the one. That's the one. I've always wanted to play that, so hopefully I get an opportunity soon.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so that one's a good team versus team. But today we're talking about sports games.
Yes.
So give us our next game.
The next game we have that's sports related is King of not sports related. Yeah, so it's King of Tokyo. It's a really well known game, but it does well for the it fits the theme. Basically, King of Tokyo, and
It does not. You jumped the shark, Joseph.
something
Yeah, jump. Oh, it is a good game.
actually. Yes, it is. Well, it is kind of a sports. It's kind of wrestling or fighting. If you think about it, like in a ring, and the ring is
Oh, I see.
Tokyo.
Monster wrestling.
Exactly, or to take a monster, you fighting one another. So it is kind of that combat theme. And the thing about this game is, and they also a spin-off game called King of New York, which I have, which is my personal favorite. But when it comes to King of Tokyo, basically it's a King of the Hill type of game where you have dice and you have one monster who can go into. There's a board. You have a small little board that represents Tokyo, and one monster it can be in Tokyo and is trying to stay in Tokyo as long as it can, while all the other monsters are fighting it. And the objective of the game is you take control of a monster, and you have what's known as star power or fame points, and you have health. So you take these dice, and the objective is to roll the dice and to try to get combinations. And you get like 3 rolls, so you can roll the dice, the pool of dice 3 times until you get the combinations you want. So you could have attack, you could have health, you could try to get currency, which is energy. That's the currency of the game, and to buy help you buy cards to power up and to give you special abilities and powers. And the
And this
cool,
one's also a good one. You know, players young as what 8, I think. I mean, even 6 is probably fine as well.
oh yeah,
You can play fairly young just because the concepts are pretty simple.
yeah, it's a
So if any kids that like Godzilla or anything of that genre, any monster type thing, would definitely love that game. What's next?
well, the next game we have on is a newer game that I wanted to highlight, and that's the game that came out, and that's the game Ishtar, and it's like what
Ooh.
Ishtar and the Gardens of Babylon. And what makes this game interesting is that it has a kind of a abstract feel to it. Well, the objective of the game is you're trying to see oh here grow your garden here, and you have these garden pieces. And what happens at the beginning of the game, you have these garden pieces in a circle, and or it that's being held, and and each turn you can take a garden piece and place it around what's known as these fountains here, and each of these fountains are worth different points. But the catch is that you can place it, but you can't directly connect the gardens together. So you have to be careful about where you place it, and you get to claim gardens, and you get points for how much how much gardens of control you have. You get to plant trees and plant flowers, and at the end of the game, whoever has the most points wins. And I find this to be an interesting concept because, like I said, it's an abstract game on this foundation, but they were able to add a really good theme that goes along, that is like complemented with a good theme. And it's not one of those themes which is child, which is one of those tacked on themes. It actually is, you actually are, it's like you are making a garden around the cities of the gardens of Babylon. So this game just came out, and we actually have a demo copy. We still have a demo copy over there, if I remember correctly. So you want to check it out? By all means, come down and check it out. So
Now, one thing I didn't mention at the beginning that I forgot is that we've sold 500 plus copies of Wingspan.
yes, and we have a couple more copies, about 6 copies also here, and they also have an expansion for Wingspan's coming out. So we have the pre-order list for that one as well for the
And it's
expansion.
an awesome time. This time of year is great for getting gifts and getting things for people for board game related stuff. What's the next game on our list?
Our next game on the list. Oh, well, we have a couple. A couple. Let me see if we can get one. So,
Wait, what? Don't just go away. He just left me.
sorry about
He
that.
is not there anymore.
Sorry about that. I didn't.
Oh, there you go. You're
I
back.
didn't expect. We have a couple. We have a couple of other games that we are highlighting this month, and this one right here
Awesome.
is a classic known as Fireball Island. And it's not really a sports, but it's more of a venture type of game. But it goes along with that entire idea of competition where you're going around the island of, as you can see, the classic island, and you're trying to you're trying to take pictures of the island around, and also just trying to avoid being hit by fireballs and spiders and all sorts of mess. And it's actually as you can see, it's actually the map. Unlike the small other game, the map is bigger than the original, and it has a couple more expansions attached to it. You can have an expansion that has a boat to it and has, like I said, spiders or snakes, and there's one that has a tiger on it. So it's really fun game, and the kids, it's really especially for children. So if you're looking for a game for children, it's about two to four players, 45 to 60 minutes. So these are the games. We have a lot of other games too for highlights.
Ah,
So
so good, so good.
oh yeah, so good, really good.
Nice.
So
So then, definitely, do we have a Blood Bowl league going on right now at all?
a league. We should, and I know there was a league last year, and I know that the associates are trying to get a league to go together. But I think there may be, we have. You can always go online to our Facebook page and contact. I think it's a Atlanta Gamers Guild, or ask for more information about. But we do have a Blood Bowl league last year, so the game may be doing it again this year. So
Sweet.
yeah.
That's awesome. All right, folks. This has been Board Game Talk, where we talk about fun board games, all about team games and sports games and things like that for this whole month. So we'll talk next week about team versus team games.
Yes.
Ones where multiple players go off against each other. We've got, what is it called? Coup?
Coup. Well, Resistance.
Is that the one where you go on missions?
Resistance is the one that
Resistance, thank you. I don't know.
Team Cat and then
I
we
played
have,
all kinds of those similar games, but Resistance is the awesome one where you have team versus team. So yeah, we will check y'all next week on the next episode of Board Game Talk. Thanks, Joseph.
Have a good day.